Okay. It's time to get into this, getting everything started. Make sure this is working. Let's refresh this because my picture's not popping up. Come on, come on. Just tweak it right now, huh? Nice, man. Nice, there it goes. Okay, now we're good to get into this. All right, so day 10, practice day 10. Got the first game coming up, preseason game coming up. We're going to see the Colts in action. I assume while we're doing this, Shane Steichen probably going to tell the media that the starters are going. I assume the starters are going. So we're going to be able to see some Colts football this upcoming week. Which is great news. Going to see the starters go. And today was a really good day of practice. Defense made some plays, but what we've been looking for is for the offense to start, right? Like the defense is dominated. Especially while all pads are on, defense is dominated. So we've been waiting to see the offense catch up. Offense had a day. They were not in full pads today. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Yeah, they did good today. I want to see on Sunday, I want to see them dominate the first, second, third team. I want to see them dominate the Broncos. That's what I want to see. The offense has to dominate. And then when they come back into practice next week and they put pads on, I want our offense to dominate our defense. Okay, the defense has had plenty of success against us. It's time for the offense to wake up and get the job done. So that's really what we're looking for, is for the offense to continue to make plays, which they did plenty today in practice, from beginning to end, making a bunch of plays. So let's go ahead, switch over here. Boom, boom. Let's get this. Boom, like that. All right. Now let's look. This was a play a couple days ago from practice that the Colts put out on Twitter. Zaire Franklin on Michael Pittman Jr. just knocking that one away. Great play by Z right there. A lot of people talking about, we need coverage linebackers. Well, we have Zaire Franklin and EJ Speed both making plays throughout practices. EJ Speed, I think, will be mentioned at some point with what happened today. Then they put this out. I just thought this was a good picture. Got Dio and Alec right here, and then Grove with that big old smile here in the back riding his little scooter into practice. And then this, I really liked seeing this. Now, Quentin Nelson, it's very clear that he's not supposed to be a defensive lineman when you see his get off and his moves. But what it really is Quentin Nelson is a massive human being, very powerful. Will Fries doesn't budge much with him coming at him. So it's really what I was looking at there. Nothing really to gain from that, other than the fact that Will Fries is also a massive human being. Let's see, we got Dio practicing. You saw him in the picture. Dio was at practice for the second straight day, which is good news, getting him back into that rotation. But guys that were not at practice include Josh Downs, of course. Then Ashton Doolin, Juju Brents, Clay Fields the third, Samson Ebicom. I don't know why people are still listing him. Jalen Carlisle, Gennard Avery, DeForest Buckner. Going forward, people are still going to, be dramatic and put Josh Downs, Samson Ebicom in here. We're just going to continue skipping those names because no shit, those guys aren't at practice. One of them's hurt for the rest of the year. One guy might not even make it to week one. No kidding, they're not at practice. Colts wide receivers doing sprint drills. There's a lot of this. Nothing crazy. But as always, going to try to get as much content on here as possible. This is, big get-off type of drill right here. And next, we have Anthony Richardson getting some work in practice. We've seen him run this drill at the beginning of pretty much every practice. This pretty much every time James Boyd puts out Anthony Richardson Proof of Life, this is usually the video that goes with it. Wide receivers going through drills. Nice. Got Reggie up here. Nice one-handed catch right there by Juwan Winfrey. Pitt here fighting through. Little one-hand snag right there. Love to see it. I think Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor getting some work in here. Working on that pitch. Got to get that pitch down. Got to get that pitch down and want it to be in the numbers, not near his face. And Jonathan Taylor getting some work in. I mean, he just moves so smooth. Like, that's how you can tell the elite from the not, right? Some guys go through this looking robotic. You notice their jump steps. He just slides through there, just glides through, and then explodes over that and under the bar there. They have A.D. Mitchell. We're on footwork and toe tapping. Looks like that was a pretty unsuccessful attempt at toe tapping. I assume that line is supposed to be the sideline. Yeah, did not get both feet in right there. This is not college. 1 foot does not work. Kylan Granson here making a nice little catch. Throw and catch here. Quick out. I think, especially with Josh Downs out, I feel like we might see some Kylan Granson in the slot. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I think that's something we could see through the preseason. But there's more information on what's happening in this slot that we'll get to here in a little while. Here we have more routes on air. Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman Jr. Boom. Hitting him for a touchdown right there. There were a lot of that today in team periods. So team period start, Anthony Richardson connecting with A.D. Mitchell, who found a quick opening in the zone in the middle of the field to start Colts 11 on 11. You have QBs working with running backs here. See Sam Ehlinger stepping up right there. Couldn't tell who he was handing it off to there. Oh, that was Jonathan Taylor. Okay, I thought that might have been Jonathan Taylor. Flacco handing it off to Trey Sermon. No, it's not Jonathan Taylor. So that must be Evan Hull. Yeah, that's got to be Evan Hull. So Evan Hull currently working with the third team still. Volume keeps popping up on this. I don't know why. Anthony Richardson connected with Alec Pierce for a big jump ball down the field. Jalen Jones was the defender. We'll see more on that connection as we continue, okay? Again, a big day for the offense. Big day for the offense in team drills. Colts tight end group working on red zone. Jelani here. I think it's the first time we've gotten a video of Jelani. I mean, that's it. Drew Ogletree's flying and he misses the ball. No. I hadn't watched this whole video. I didn't know he dropped the ball at the end. What a bum. Jelani's cooking too. He had to slow down for that. Andrew Ogletree was moving here, man. You just got to get the hands right. You can't let that thing smack you right in the hands and then drop it. So we have Destin Adams here saying that Anthony Richardson's carving up Colts defense in the first 11 on 11 series. Hit Michael Pittman Jr. for a touchdown and followed up with another completion to A.D. Mitchell for another solid game. So early and often getting touchdowns, hitting guys. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Anthony Richardson connecting with Trey Sermon for another touchdown. Colts QB1 is dealing right now. No Compton here, who does a really good job with these tweets of kind of what the offense has been doing. A 5-yard slant / in to A.D. Mitchell. Then a 25 to 30-yard gain to Alec Pierce up the right sideline while being held by Jalen Jones. 5 to 7 yard out to Mitchell. Incomplete fade to Michael Pittman Jr., but then a 5 yard out to Michael Pittman Jr., and then the in breaker to Trey Sermon for 6. An in breaker, maybe that's an in route, might be a Texas route. Don't know exactly what it was. In breaker seems very vague. Either way, going in for 6. Amir Speed with a big pass breakup against Joe Flacco. So that's really what we're looking for, right? I feel like Jalen Jones continues to struggle. He had a good opening to camp. Then he had one day where he really struggled. And, corners are going to give stuff up every now and then. That's just going to happen. It's the NFL in 2024. But I feel like Jalen Jones has been giving up more than we're used to seeing, or that we were used to seeing, at least at the beginning of camp. He was doing a really good job. Maybe it's just Alec Pierce. And maybe Alec Pierce is just doing really well right now. There's been a lot of talk about that, right? The development, how good he's looked through camp so far. So maybe Alec Pierce is just being able to win those matchups, right? These guys go against each other every day. Maybe Alec Pierce found something that he noticed about Jalen Jones, and he just keeps taking advantage of it. And that's how guys get better, right? You have Alec Pierce taking advantage of something. Well, Jalen Jones, at some point, he's going to have to make a correction and get better and work on whatever Alec Pierce is taking advantage of, so that other receivers aren't taking advantage of the same thing in real game scenarios. So it'll be interesting as we go in to Sunday. I'm going to pay close attention to the cornerbacks and what's going on with them, because I want to see how that competition goes in real game, right? We've seen Jalen Jones, Juju Brents have started in camp. Will that be the case when we start practice next week? Going to be paying very close attention to that. Going to be paying close attention to quite a few players. We're going to have a video later today talking about all the guys I'm going to be looking at, everything, like who's going to step up, who's going to back down, probably who are we looking at to really solidify something, their spot on the first team this upcoming week. Plenty of positions to look at, so make sure you subscribe with notifications. Also, you get notified when that video comes out later today. Okay, but then we're going to move on here. Nice opening drive for Anthony Richardson, 5 for 6, including a 35-yard completion to Alec Pierce, finished with a 10-yard touchdown to Trey Sermon. A.D. Mitchell starting with the first unit in the slot since Josh Downs is out, and that is something I like a lot. I think, this is very next one. The Colts have used A.D. Mitchell, Anthony Gould, and Alec Pierce in the starting slot spot today with Josh Downs out. So those are with Josh Downs not in the lineup. I think it's smart to have A.D. Mitchell there, right, trying to get the best guys on the field that you possibly can. But Anthony Gould has looked really good in practice, still continuing to impress everybody. So I think Anthony Gould, once we get into Sunday, I think you'll probably see A.D. Mitchell in the slot to start out. But I think there's a real good chance we see Anthony Gould possibly get some reps with the starters in practice as well. And then Alec Pierce being in the slot, right, they can interchange all these guys. But I expect when it comes time for game time on Sunday, Alec Pierce is going to be starting on the outside, if I had to guess. And then, like I said, offense had a really good day. Defense did make some plays today, one of which Kenny Moore. One of the only big plays for the defense today was Kenny Moore picking off Anthony Richardson on an undercut. There was something else I'd seen with that. Picks off AR pass in the end zone in 7-on-7. Yeah, thrown into heavy coverage, intended for Drew Ogletree. So I think I saw that there was 2 or 3 people around the ball where Anthony Richardson was throwing to a place where he's just taking a chance, right? Probably a little too confident in his arm and what he can do. Tried to fit it into a spot, and Kenny Moore ends up cutting under it and gets the easy interception. Then you have Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman Jr. for another touchdown, this time during 7-on-7. Anthony Richardson left the pocket and found Alec Pierce, who broke his route for the touchdown in 7-on-7. So going into 7-on-7, and these boys are cooking. So that's exactly what we're looking for there. Defense making some big plays early in 7-on-7. Kenny Moore telegraphed an Anthony Richardson red zone throw for the pick and looked like he could have taken it the distance. Excuse me. Then Segan Alubi with an impressive interception against Flacco and the twos. So Flacco, same thing as AR. I feel like sometimes he's just a little too confident with his arm, tries to fit it in somewhere. And Segan Alubi coming up with a pick. Somebody we pretty much know he's going to make the team. He's somebody going into 2024 that could have a role in the defense. Then you have Grant Stewart making a play, breaks up a pass with against Evan Hull. Good coverage from a special teamer. Grant Stewart, another guy that we've seen get in game action and that we fully expect to make the team. You have Joe Flacco threaded the needle to Will Mallory through multiple defenders. Tight end went up and came down with a touchdown. So that's another example, right? Being confident in his arm. He got intercepted once, but then Gunslinger comes back, starts slinging, and boom, hits Will Mallory for a touchdown, which is really good to see, right? Will Mallory coming back to practice, hadn't practiced in a little while, which James Boyd mentions here. He gets the touchdown. Then he has a nice first down grab on a crosser in 7-on-7. So on the first day back from his hamstring injury, getting a couple passes here from Joe Flacco and seemingly continuing to rise up in the tight end depth chart. Okay, then Richardson threw up a deep ball to give Pittman Jr. a jump ball attempt. And he left it short, but Pittman Jr. made sure Jones had no shot at the interception. So, would have been offensive pass interference is what Dustin Adams is saying. But do what you got to do. Just make sure the defense doesn't get the interception. Excuse me. Richardson keeps it for himself for the touchdown, faked out the entire Colts defense with a pretty pump fake, and walked into the end zone. This is one that I hope we end up getting a video on at some point. I really hope there's a video of this one because I heard somebody else say something about it. We'll see in a minute, but somebody else mentioned this one, the pump fake touchdown. I can't wait to be able to see that. It sounds like that one might have been kind of nasty. Then Richardson and Pittman connect on a pretty back shoulder route in the flat. So, Anthony Richardson just absolutely locked in, killing it today. Pittman having a really good day at practice. Then here, just working on some end zone stuff here. First, see Michael Pittman Jr. on the top side, working with Anthony Richardson. Then on the downside here, boom, Alec Pierce down. So on the first one, I actually don't think. Oh, okay, never mind. They were moving there. Yeah, Anthony Richardson to Michael Pittman Jr. And then that second one, he moved over. Sam moves up. Anthony Richardson out to Alec Pierce at the corner of the end zone there. And then DJ Montgomery working with Sam Ellinger there. That was number 2. So then we have Jonathan Taylor burst down the sideline for a 20-yard touchdown after catching a pass from Anthony Richardson. Love to see that. And when they're not in pads, it's like when you're catching passes and running for touchdowns, like, are you really getting a touchdown, or is the defense just not hitting you because you're not in full pads? So we'll take that with a grain of salt. You have the second 11-on-11 drive for AR. He goes 4 for 5 and caps it with a 15-yard rushing touchdown. Goes 9 for 11 on the day up to that point with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. A.D. Mitchell had 3 catches on 3 targets out of the slot. So getting a lot of work there in the slot, just like Josh Downs would, right? This offense predicated a lot around the versatility of the slot position. That's why Josh Downs is going to be so great for the Colts. That's why he's going to be so great in the slot in this offense. So A.D. Mitchell could go into Sunday and end up having pretty big day relative to how much the starters play. Okay, then Jelani Woods, another Jelani Woods sighting. He's running with the 2s and 3s. We'll see how that, going into Sunday, how that position battle gets affected, right? Again, Will Mallory seems to be rising up in the depth chart, even though he missed a few practices, but he came into this practice and he ends up making some plays. Jelani Woods might be slipping down. We all hoped he would be the guy because he's a freak of nature. And I mean, especially athletically, just absolute freak for as big as he is. But unfortunately, not stepping up the way we were hoping. So maybe it could be Will Mallory. So far through training camp, my read on the situation is that Will Mallory is probably the best tight end we have. That's just what I'm gathering. Okay, I might be wrong there, but it feels like Will Mallory might be the one. And Anthony Richardson with a nifty touchdown run in 11-on-11. As he scrambled, he saw E.J. Speed coming down to make a play, so he faked a pass. Speed bit on the fake and jumped, and Richardson was able to easily run into the end zone. That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to see the replay of this. And I assume, I don't know who it was, right? You see Noah Compton here says that it was Jalen Jones. Whoever it was, I don't know. I just want to see it. Being able to pull off a pump fake like that. Again, hopefully we get a video about that. Sounds like a nasty little move. I mean, with Anthony Richardson, that's the great thing is that he has that capability where he can hit that pump fake and then take off and then run for an easy touchdown. You know, we've never had that before. Andrew Luck kind of had that, but he didn't have quite the wheels that Anthony Richardson has. Then a note here with the injuries, the guys that we said were out earlier, right? Juju Branch, Ashton Doolin, Jalen Carlisle, DeForest Buckner. Ashton Doolin and DeForest Buckner were watching practice, so they weren't out getting treatment. It seems like they were just getting a G-Day, right? DeForest Buckner, maybe the most veteran player on the Colts. I haven't looked through the roster, but as I sit here and I think about it, DeForest Buckner might be like the OG on the team. I don't know if there's anybody. Well, I guess, okay, Joe Flacco. But outside of Joe Flacco, DeForest Buckner. He's dealt with plenty of injuries over the years. He's a big dude. Seems like he's getting a G-Day. Ashton Doolin coming back. He's looked really good. But coming off the injury, getting a G-Day here before the game. And then we have some special teams news. Colts wide receivers Anthony Gould and Ethan Fournier plus cornerback Dallas Flowers taking the punt return reps with Josh Downs out. So the only difference there is Ethan Fournier getting included with Josh Downs out. Anthony Gould, what was it? I think Anthony Gould is set to be punt returner with Josh Downs out. It would be Anthony Gould at punt returner. Dallas Flowers is starting kick returner. At least that's the way it showed on the Colts' first depth chart. Colts doing some special teams drills to finish practice. That actually did not finish practice. There's some more. Anthony Richardson to Alec Pierce once again to start the team's last 11-on-11 period. The duo has connected on multiple occasions for some big pickups. He's been looking towards Pierce early and often to kick off each team period. So this is what we were talking about earlier. There was going to be more Alec Pierce. This is what we're talking about. Alec Pierce gets another big pass. And then you have Julian Blackmon in at free safety. Ronnie Harrison playing strong safety. So they're still playing games with the safeties. Ed Dodds, the assistant general manager for the Colts, Ed Dodds, had a press conference the other day. Not very long, but did talk about how they want to see the guys in game, which I think is stupid. Like, you've seen these guys in games before. It's stupid to want to see them in games. You're waiting to see, do we need to bring somebody in? Everybody in the world knows you need to bring somebody else in. It's been readily apparent right in front of everybody's eyes that, yes, you need to bring in a safety. So the expectation, again, we're going to have a video later talking about what we're really looking at. I just think we're going to come out of the game Sunday saying, yeah, just go ahead, call Justin Simmons. Like, why are we playing games? What are we waiting for? Go get a guy that we know we can fit in next to Julian Blackmon, and they'll make a great duo. Okay, but then as we move on here, another one, they connect again. This is Anthony Richardson to Alec Pierce, this time for a huge touchdown. Alec Pierce climbing the ladder and having an incredible day, getting another touchdown or getting a touchdown on that one. A few deep balls today for Alec Pierce. So really good to see Alec Pierce coming in and dominating. Destin Adams says today was probably Alec Pierce's best practice of the year. Nice speed off the line and multiple tough catches through coverage. The most recent being a touchdown between two defenders with the ball from Richardson. And this is good, right? If this is Alec Pierce's best day, like there was a day last week where Alec Pierce dominated the entire practice, then got hurt on the last play, but was able to come back the very next practice. But Alec Pierce stringing together multiple days over the last week where he's dominated practice. And that makes me so happy. Okay. Throughout this offseason, I did a whole lot of talking trash about Alec Pierce. He's never going to develop, especially once we got A.D. Mitchell. It was like, all right, we got A.D. Alec Pierce isn't a guy. Let's go ahead, use him as trade bait and get him out of here. But now with Alec Pierce, A.D. Mitchell, Josh Downs, Anthony Gould, Ashton Doolin coming back, like we're as deep as wide receiver as we've been in my lifetime. Okay, when I grew up, yeah, we had Reggie Wayne, we had Marvin Harrison, and then, the combination, Dallas Clark you could throw in there as tight end. There was the Brandon Stokely years. Pierre Garçon came along at one point. Like the Colts have had receivers, but we've never had depth the way that we have depth. And it's happened quietly. It's happened seamlessly. I feel like over time, Chris Ballard, especially over the last 2 years, really, Chris Ballard has done a really good job of bringing in wide receivers, bringing depth guys, keeping guys around, right? You keep Ashton Doolin around. You keep Michael Pittman Jr. around, and then you're drafting these young guys that are coming in, making impacts, right? Alec Pierce finally developing into what we always hoped he would be. So I'm really, really confident in our wide receiver room. I think we might have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL, right? We're not as top-heavy as the Dolphins or the Bengals, but we have an incredible group, and I'm really excited about it, right? Taking 6 wide receivers into every game that we know can get into the lineup and make plays for us. That's a really good thing to have, especially in today's NFL. And you saw it was double coverage for that Alec Pierce touchdown. It was between Dallas Flowers and Julian Blackmon. So Julian has had a really good practice. Dallas Flowers, I think it's interesting, and that he's noted in here, means he's running with the starters. And if he's on Alec Pierce, that means Jalen Jones has been having a tough time. They decide, let's put in Dallas Flowers. Dallas Flowers ends up getting mossed. So did Julian Blackmon. So Alec Pierce having a really good day. Another strong series for AR. Touchdowns, Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. He's 14 for 17 for 3 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. So, again, really dominant day for the offense. Pitt had 5 catches and a touchdown. Pierce had 3 catches and a touchdown. Mitchell had 3 catches. So, let's bring me back here. I'm going to come up here. I just want to go and look. Like I said, there are press conferences going on. So there's definitely some stuff that we can gather just as I suspected. Okay, let me bring you guys back here. I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at here. Coming down. Okay, see Jelani Woods with an impressive catch over the middle from Joe Flacco, an 11-on-11, climbed the ladder to pull that one in. And then Joe Flacco scrambled and threw a dart to DJ Montgomery in the back of the end zone. Duke can still sling it. Nice way to end practice. So the second team making plays on the second team defense. So the offense, first team, second team out there killing it today. Jelani Woods able to make a play. This is the most Jelani Woods content we've gotten in a single video, which is perfect. I was planning on having a video about Jelani Woods that we're going to release tomorrow. So getting a little bit of information is really good. So Jelani Wood making some plays, quick takeaways from the Colts. Last practice before the opener, big days from Alec Pierce. And Anthony Richardson, secondary issues are more relevant each and every practice. And Colts getting creative in the slot while Josh Downs nurses his injury. Starting to worry about Jelani Wood. So that's kind of what we were talking about. Now, he made some plays, but that's what I'm saying, worrying about Jelani Wood. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Again, I think Will Mallory is probably going to be the tight end we're looking at. And then, here we have it. Shane Steichen shared that the starters outside of one or two will play during the team's preseason opener. So a couple of starters might not be playing. I would assume DeForest Buckner might be one of those starters that isn't going to be playing. It'll be interesting. Maybe Jonathan Taylor not playing. I don't know who he'll decide, one or two guys. It'll be interesting to see who he decides there. But he says the starters will play a series or two is the quote. So, again, we're going to be live on Sunday, so we'll be able to see that. I have a work obligation that I have to get to, so going to have to shut the stream down around 2:15 or so. But the game starts at 1, and we will be streaming, and we'll be able to have the starters, be able to talk about the starters, what they're doing in game. So subscribe, have notifications on, and come by for that. I already have that stream set up and scheduled. So, go into the channel, make sure you have that, and click the notify me button so that you get notified when we do practice or when we do go live on Sunday for the game. I think all these are probably going to be all the same thing here. Shane Steichen, just all the different outlets saying the exact same thing. This one about Josh Downs. I'm not going to put a timetable on his return. I know he'll attack his rehab like crazy, so no timetable. You're going to stay in the 4 to 6 week range, right? And going to stay at a place where, hey, let's not bring him back too soon. We need Josh Downs to be healthy. So even if he has to miss week 1 against the Texans, that'd be really hard. But again, we feel really good about our depth and the guys that we can put in as slots. So if he has to rest week 1, let him rest week 1. Let's see. Everybody just talking about. Okay, it was a rest day for DeForest Buckner. Juju Brent's also getting a rest day. Ashton Dulin not mentioned as getting a G day, so interesting. I assume he's part of that, just not getting mentioned. Again, coming off a major knee injury, and with him being as veteran as he is in the league, I just assume it's a G day for Ashton Dulin. Oh, here we go, James Boyd. Yeah, it was a rest day. Oh, no, Ashton Dulin dealing with a hamstring injury, which is exactly what you don't want to see. A guy coming back from a knee injury, now the soft tissue injuries. So Ashton Dulin, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't practice next week at all, right? You get a veteran guy, somebody you can depend on heavily on special teams, and that can be good depth for you at wide receiver. I think it'd be a smart idea to have Ashton Dulin just rest up, do some individual stuff, but don't go too hard. You need to get him some rest those legs up with him coming off of the torn ACL. Richardson has mentioned multiple times about how happy he is with the amount of weapons the Colts have for him, which you would expect, of course. Anthony Richardson going to play. Let's get A.D. Mitchell playing as big a slot. Yeah, whatever. Trey Sermon said he worked directly with wide receiver coaches all season in Florida and that he has put an emphasis on improving his ability as a pass catcher as he competes for the primary job behind Jonathan Taylor. So that's good, right? We have one of our guys, one of our running backs. I expected Evan Hold at some point take a hold of that second running back job, and it might happen during the season. But for the time being, Trey Sermon is good to see working on things that the second running back needs to do. Now, pass catching is one part of it. Pass blocking is one of the biggest things for a running back. JT, that's something Jonathan Taylor's needed to work on throughout his career. And hopefully Trey Sermon, while he's working on pass catches, hopefully he's also working on his pass blocking in the pocket. Okay, so let's refresh this real quick. Doesn't look like there's been anything else. So let me switch this over so that I can go look real quick. Hit the home page. I just want to make sure I get everything to you guys that I possibly can. If anybody plays Madden, this is what we're looking at in Madden quarterbacks for Madden Ultimate Team for anybody that plays. Patrick Mahomes, 84. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, 83s. Then a couple 82s. Yeah. Anthony Richardson not in there. Anthony Richardson's overall on Madden to start the year is going to be like 75 or something. Like mad disrespectful. Like I get it, he didn't play, but mad disrespectful. Okay, then as I look. Okay, the Colts put out a video of the rookie wide receivers doing some drills. You have Anthony Gould here. Quick footwork here. Boom. Nice cut. Getting to the outside. Keeping both feet in. He's a small guy. Then A.D. Mitchell. You can tell A.D. Mitchell is really going to have to work on that sideline presence. We saw the drill earlier he was working on. And then here, that's really clunky. So for as great as he is, that's something that he's definitely going to need to work on. His sideline presence and keeping his feet in. Young Empire, what's up, man? Yeah, let's go Colts, man. Finally got a football game coming up this Sunday. Yeah, it's preseason, but Colts starters are playing. That's all I care about. We get to see Anthony Richardson play football again. Yes, let's go. I'm looking through here, Yeah, it doesn't look like the Colts have put anything else out yet. Again, hopefully we see sorry, I saw something else, got distracted. So coming up this Sunday, there are going to be things we're looking for specifically, things that we're really going to be looking at. And we're going to have a video about what we're really looking at and the things I'm paying most attention to. We're going to have a video about that later today. I'm going to have a video about Jelani Woods tomorrow. And then what else we talk about tomorrow. Not completely sure. Yeah, we'll figure that out. There's plenty of stuff to do. Just got to figure out what else I want to do tomorrow. I know I want to talk about Jelani Woods, though, the curious case of Jelani Woods and what the hell is happening with him this year. So, again, subscribe, have notifications on. And now we're at the part. I see there are, at least what it says here, there's 27 people in here. You got comments, questions? Has anybody got anything for me? What you guys got going on? The first game is against the Broncos. We get the Denver Broncos Sunday at 1 o'clock. We're going to be live for that game. Not the whole thing. Going to be live from about 1 o'clock to about 2:15. I have to go work my day job on Sunday and help do some stuff there. But we will be streaming. We'll be able to see a stream for the part where the starters play. We should be able to get the entire first quarter, maybe the entire second quarter. Depends how quick the quarters go. Might be able to get the entire first half, but we will be streaming on Sunday during the Broncos game. And again, I already have that stream scheduled. So if you want to, click on the where you see Colts Syndicate, right? Click on the icon there. You can go into the live tab and then click on notify me, watch later, whatever it is. And you can get notified when that stream starts. See, Paul, what's up, man? I want to see Cross make some plays and break up passes or get some interceptions, at least one. Yeah, that's what okay, so this goes two ways. Either the safeties need to ball out and make plays, or they absolutely suck. Like some of the worst safety positioning that we've ever seen, so that we can have a reason, okay, they were really bad. Let's go get Justin Simmons. Okay, those are the two ways I see that going. Again, we'll go more in depth on that in the video later, because that is something that will come up in the video later today. Young Empire, okay, cool. You think we will make it to the playoffs? Let me put this as plainly as I can. We won 9 games with Gardner Minshew last year. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to all the NFL. I do, because I'm diehard football. This is what I think about all the time. Gardner Minshew's over there in Las Vegas, and he's barely winning a quarterback competition with Aiden O'Connell. And we won 9 games and almost made the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. So Yeah. I think, listen, and whatever happens with Richardson, as much as I'm going to sit here and say, yeah, he's going to stay on the field, right? That's what I'm manifesting. I want to watch him stay healthy. Yeah, Paul, exactly. 13-4 if Richardson stays healthy. I think 12, 13 wins is easily possible this year if Richardson stays healthy. I don't think that's too far-fetched, and I think even if Richardson did go down, we have a better backup this year, right? We had one of the best backups in football last year. Well, Joe Flacco might be the best backup quarterback in the NFL. If he comes in the game, I'm very confident that we're still going to be able to win games with what we have offensively and defensively. So I think the Colts have a chance to win a lot of games this year. I think no matter what, we should be able to win 10 games. Like, unless we are one of the most injured teams in the league, like, I really think this Colts team has a chance to be special, at least compared to what we've had and what we've had to watch over the last few years as Colts fans. Like, what we're going to see this year, I think, is going to be vastly different. I think there's a lot to be excited about. Now, you're asking, what about Super Bowl? Do I think we'll make it to the Super Bowl? That's the magic question. The AFC is tough, man. We got to get through Mahomes and the Chiefs. We got to get through Lamar, Derrick Henry, and the Ravens, who seemingly just got better this year. Chiefs seemingly getting better. Josh Allen and the Bills, I think they might take a step back, but when you look at the receivers, like, I think they don't have that top-end talent like they had in Stephon Diggs, but they do have good depth. I like a lot of the receivers that the Bills have. So the AFC is so stacked. It's going to be really hard to make the playoffs. It's going to be really hard to make the Super Bowl. Whoever comes out of the AFC has a real good chance to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's just how it is. So Super Bowl is a little bit different conversation than the playoffs. I think playoffs is very possible, but we'll have to see, you know. Let's see, Paul. Want to see Latu make an immediate impact. Yeah, I think Latu is going to be insane on the field, dude. Like, I can't wait to see him get on the field. I think seeing him live in live action, watching how quick his get off is, and I think going against that Denver offensive line, I think there's going to be some opportunity for Latu to show that he's going to be a guy. So I think, yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Latu is going to make plays. With Josh Downs out, I think Mitchell's going to make some plays. So I'm right there with you, Paul. Looking forward to see how the corners play. It's a lead. Yeah. That's what we hope for, right? The D-line getting more pressure should help the corners, especially with the way Jalen Jones has looked throughout camp recently. Seems like his confidence might be down right now. He's kind of getting shit on by Alec Pierce. So hopefully he's able to figure it out. Maybe Dallas Flowers goes into Sunday working with the first team. We'll see what happens, but definitely curious to see how the defense is going to operate from getting pressure standpoint, from a secondary standpoint, no doubt. Now, is Denver the team that's really going to challenge our secondary? Probably not. But going into it, this is going to be our first look at what we're going to see this year. So I'm right there with you. Pause on best backup. I think the Steelers have the backup. Okay, that's fair, right? Having Justin Fields. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'd rather have Joe Flacco than Justin Fields. I'm a Michigan fan. Maybe there's some bias there, but like Justin Fields is like a one-trick pony, you know. I'm so on Justin Fields. I just don't know if he's the guy. But that's fair, right? That's more than fair. There's definitely a conversation to be had there. Let's see. Then he says, I'm a huge Flowers fan. He came on last year. Yeah, Dallas Flowers looked really good as cornerback one last year. I thought he was doing a really good job stepping into that role, and then he gets hurt. And it was never the same after that, right? Because Juju came in, but then he was hurt. And then it was a revolving door. DJ Baker coming in, that was bad. So hopefully this upcoming season We get those. We need our top three to stay healthy. That's the big thing. We need those top three to really stay healthy. I think Flowers, by the end of it, by the time regular season comes around, with the way things are going with Jalen Jones, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Juju as cornerback 1, Dallas Flowers cornerback 2, Jalen as a rotational piece, then Kenny Moore, of course, in the slot. So right there with you. I think Flowers has a chance to be really good. It'll be interesting to see what his role is, right? He's currently slotted as the starting kick returner. So if he ends up being starting corner, will they keep him there with his injury history, and how will that go? Those are things we're going to be looking for in the future. Really, with how Shane uses mobile quarterbacks. Yeah, I could see that, but see, my thing is like Justin Herbert, right? Justin Herbert can move, but Justin Herbert largely is sit in the pocket and slinging that thing. Justin Herbert can throw with the best of them, right? So I think Shane Steichen has shown in his career that it doesn't matter. Like Gardner Minshew last year, like it doesn't matter. He can change his offense, to fit the quarterback. And that's something Ryan Kelly talked about a couple days ago in his press conference, was how different the offense was last year when Anthony Richardson ran it and then Gardner came in, and how they changed the offense. And I think it shouldn't go being overseen how they had to change the offense and didn't really skip a beat. They were still scoring 20-plus every single week while changing the offense to fit Gardner Minshew. And now if they have to do it again this year, right, that's a good thing. They had to do it last year, so if there's anything like that has to happen this year, then you end up in a situation where Richardson is running the offense the way it's supposed to run, and then they can change it very easily and seamlessly with a very veteran quarterback like Joe Flacco. So no problems when it comes to that. Who's my favorite Colts player of all time? Okay, so this is a discussion. I feel like when you talk to Colts fans, you have to have it with the caveat, you can't say Peyton Manning, you can't say Andrew Luck. So who's my favorite Colts player of all time? That's a really tough question. 'Cause of course, I grew up in the golden era of Colts football, right? With our guy over here, Reggie Wayne. Now, I love Reggie Wayne. Love Marvin Harrison. Man, see, and as much as I love those guys, I'm a defensive guy. So where I go is I like Dwight Freeney. I like Robert Mathis. I think I'm going to say Robert Mathis, dude. And, I just think Robert Mathis was an absolute dog. Coming from a historically black college university, right, HBCU, somebody who was an underdog and came in and was the perfect duo for Dwight Freeney. Undersized guy, came in and was so incredible, such a dog. Each and every day, every game, you knew what you were going to get. The way he would come around the edge and he would soar through the air. He would literally fly through the air to try to get to the quarterback and go knock that ball away. And one of my favorite things was that he would knock the ball away. It's such a crucial part of playing defense, right? I played linebacker, so if I was tackling a running back, it was trying to put the helmet on the ball. But I was more of a cover. I'm a tall guy. Even in high school when I was playing, I was 6'1", 6'2". I was taller. I liked playing coverage. I wish I could have been a safety. I was just too big, not fast enough. But what that comes down to, taking the ball away. That's what defense is. You have to get the ball back for your offense. That's what it is. I loved watching Robert Mathis play football. Even after Dwight Freeney left, I loved watching Robert Mathis play football. So if I have to go and not pick Peyton Manning or Andrew Luck, I'd say Robert Mathis. But again, Dwight Freeney's up there. I love Gary Brackett. I was a middle linebacker, so paid a lot of attention to Gary Brackett. Got to shake his hand one time. which was still one of the coolest things of all time. Not as big as you think for an NFL player. I kind of towered over him, which was kind of weird. But I really enjoyed pretty much everybody on those old teams, man. Again, I got the Reggie Wayne autographed jersey here. Like, I love Reggie, love Marv, but I'd probably say Robert Mathis is probably my favorite Colt besides any of the quarterbacks. Let's see, where do we leave off here? Okay, here we go. Got Paul. When play gets started this year in the regular season, I'd like to see Bradley send a fifth rusher. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, right? You would hope that with better, consistent edge pressure, right, you can rush four guys, which is what Gus Bradley wants to do. He wants to rush four guys and get to the quarterback. But if you get to a point where you're rushing four guys and getting consistent pressure, imagine how hard you can make things for the opposing offense week after week if you're throwing in a blitz. Throw in a blitz every series. Just throw in a blitz. Excuse me. And if you throw in a blitz randomly, right, first down, then third down, then second down, then third down, then right, you just keep rotating where you're throwing in blitzes, but you keep throwing them off. You're already getting pressure. Then you're throwing it in. The quarterback having to make quick decisions. The quarterback has to make could end up making the wrong decision. That's what you're hoping for when you get pressure. So right there with you. I hope he does, but just so we're all clear, Gus Bradley, even with those Seattle teams back in the day, right, the Legion of Boom. Legion of Boom was able to be the Legion of Boom because they could rush with four. They had some really good guys on that defensive line that they had rushing the passer. If Gus Bradley can get away with rushing four and keeping seven back in coverage, that's what he's trying to do at all times, whether it's cover one, cover three, which is what he primarily likes to run, then I think we're at an area. And there was a decent amount of quarters coverage. I think Gus Bradley's changed with the NFL over the times. You saw a decent amount of quarters coverage last year also. But either way, he wants to rush four and keep seven back. So we'll see how much he changes there. If the edge pressure is better, I could see where he blitzes less this year than he did last year, which wasn't a whole lot. But he blitzed more last year than he ever has in his career because we couldn't get consistent edge pressure. We got 51 sacks as a team with like 11.1% pressure. So it just wasn't good enough last year. Hey, Truett, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming by. Yeah, gonna keep going, man. I love doing this. I signed a contract to do this, so we're gonna keep doing this, man. Especially now that we're in the season, right? During the off season, this was the first time. Just a little inside baseball here. This was the first time that I had a channel. Like before I did this, I had a channel called Horseman Sports that I did with my uncle and my cousin, but we never really did content through the off season. This was the first time I did content through the entire off season. And it was hard, man. And it got to a point where there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. It was real stale. We were so far away from football, right? It had been so far since the Super Bowl happened, but the season's not coming. Like, it was it's difficult in the middle of the off season when people aren't really, clamoring for football content because there's nowhere around. So it was difficult, but at the end of the day, like, this is what I think about, dude. I think about Colts football all the time. Football in general, I'm a big fantasy football player. I pay attention to the entire NFL, but as you can tell everything around me. Like, I'm in love with Colts football. This is something that I love to do. So I've always wanted to have a job talking about sports, football in particular. So trying to carve out that role for myself, right? Trying to carve out that career path for myself, and having you guys along is great. Like, I love having you guys come by, stop by. This is easily the best stream I've ever done. Having more than 20 people sitting in here this whole time has been great. I love having you guys in here, being able to do this live stream thing. I just recently got the PC and can do this live stream thing. So Just going to keep, because of the new equipment, I'm able to do more things. I'm able to have more access to things that I couldn't do in the past. So going to keep trying to think of things that I want to be able to have, things that we can do as a community outside of live streams. Like I want to have certain videos and certain things that we can do. I haven't figured out how that's going to look or what that's going to be, but I'm trying to think of things that we can do as a community. You guys come and spend your time here. And time is the most valuable commodity. So if you guys are going to spend your time here, I want to make it valuable time. I want to do stuff with you guys. And again, I appreciate you guys stopping by. So thank you, Truett. Thank you, Young Empire. I see that comment too. How do I rank the team overall? What do you mean exactly? What do you mean, how do I rank the team? We'll see. Morgan Sneaker Room. Who's the best football player? And an Eagle Cry. Yeah, I thought that was you. Okay, what's up, Morgan? This really isn't even a question, right? Like, what are we talking about? That's a good question. That was a long time ago. I remember the days back when we would have the games in Branches, that big field in Branches. And there were some dogs. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know everybody. I know some of those guys played on the high school team. But I don't remember. But there was one guy, I can't believe I can't remember his name. I just remember him being fast. The way he moved was like, why are you playing pickup football in this neighborhood right now? I don't honestly remember. I wish I could. There were a couple of really good athletes out there, though. A couple of them, it's like, man, I don't know if I should be on the same field with these guys right now. I have no idea. I remember the running back for the varsity team when we were freshmen in high school. Him and his brother were from Africa. It was like Akram Rababe, the older one. He's the one that basically ended my career, gave me the concussion that ended my career. But I remember playing with him without pads on and how he looked. Like, for some reason in high school, dude was just completely all muscle, like no fat on his entire body, and was ridiculously jacked. I remember that was probably the one I remember the most. He was a freak of nature in my eyes. And again, there was a practice my freshman year. It was literally the last practice for freshmen this year. We were practicing with varsity, and we went head to head. He was running the ball. I was a linebacker. We go head to head. Boom. I wake up. Still don't remember a whole lot about that situation. I mostly just remember being on the sideline. Like, remember the moment before the hit happened. Remember being on the sideline. A lot of it's really cloudy, but that was the last time I ever played football. That one messed me up quite a bit. But he was a freak, man. He was a freak. Like, it was understandable why those were the best teams of all the teams when we were in high school. That team was really good, and in my opinion, largely because of him. He was a really good running back. I think we'll see more trick plays this season. No, I don't. I think Shane Steichen's offense, it might look like trick plays. I think Shane Steichen, there's just a lot of different motions, a lot of things happening in Shane Steichen's offense. So will we see more trick plays? No. I think with more comfortability in the offense and the way the offense is able to move the ball, like, I don't think we're going to have trouble moving the ball. Generally, when you see teams use trick plays, it's because they have difficulty moving the ball, which is what we saw in the last 2 years with Frank Reich. We started seeing a little more outside of the box kind of stuff in that offense because we were having trouble moving the ball. So I don't think we'll see that kind of stuff this upcoming season. I think we'll see a lot less of it. I think it just, again, looks like trick play kind of stuff in Shane Steichen's offense because there are so many moving pieces. How do you rank the team? Defense and offense overall. So I'm gonna answer this the best way I can, the way I think you're asking the question. So, for me, I think offensively, I think we can be. Listen, injuries happen to every team. I think that we can be the best offense in the league. I know, yeah, I'm a Colts fan, and it might be, maybe I'm a homer. But when you look at, we have Anthony Richardson, dynamic. Jonathan Taylor, when healthy, possibly the best running back in the league. You look at the plethora of weapons we have at tight end, the plethora of weapons we have at wide receiver. We're so deep now. Offensive line came back and was great last year. I expect them to be really good this year. I think we can be the best offense in the NFL. I think if we're not top 5 offense in the NFL, it's extremely disappointing season for the Colts. That's how I feel about that. We were one of the better offenses. We were top 10 with Gardner Minshew. We better be top 5 with Anthony Richardson and all these boys coming back. We better be. Like, if we're not, what are we doing? That's how I feel about it. And then for the defense is really hard because of the secondary. So I'm going to do this. Without Justin Simmons, we go into the season with the guys that we have. I think that's tough. I think we can get better pressure this year than last year. So that could help the defense. I'm gonna say middle of the pack. I think defense middle of the pack. Last year we were not great. We were one of the worst defenses. This year I think we can be middle of the pack. If we get Justin Simmons, I honestly think that the defense can go boom, middle of the pack to boom. I think we can be a top 10 defense. How far does that go up? I don't know. It depends on corner play at that point, right? In today's NFL, how do the corners do? That's what we're really going to be looking at, is to see what happens there. So I think the range for us is anywhere from, we'll just say 8th best defense to 20th. 8 to 20 is where our defense can go, depending on what we do. If we get Justin Simmons, we can be really good. If not, I'm less confident in what we can do. But Latu and that defensive line can change the game for us. I think that's where we're at there, right? So, yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I think that's kind of what you were going for there. No need for trick plays with the offensive weapons we have. Exactly, Paul. Couldn't agree more. I would love to see more 4 wide with Taylor in the backfield. That field would be wide open. That's how I feel, too, with the wide receivers that we have. Shane Steichen loves to run 4 verticals, so I think that's something we could see a lot of, is him just trying to take advantage of different seams. You have smart football players at wide receiver that are, when they're running, maybe they have options in the 4 vertical. And, hey, if you're running your vertical and you see that, the defender's staying with him and the safety is overlooking, you can cut here and we can boom, boom. Right, I don't know how NFL offense operates. This is just my best guess at how things work. Okay, I assume there's some level of freedom there with guys that have been in the offense. I just don't think we'll need trick plays, but he does like to run the 4 verts. Yeah, hey, if I sound like one of your group chats, and I assume that's a pretty fun group chat, okay? We're out here hyping up the boys. That's what we do. Until we have to start getting real about the team, we're going to hype these boys up. Again, very excited for the season coming up. So glad that there's a game Sunday. We have Colts football on Sunday, baby. Yeah. And I can't wait, man. Very excited. Again, we're going to be streaming for that. We have a video coming out later today. Usually, if we do a video earlier, I do a video at 4 o'clock. I'm not sure what time it's going to be. Be completely transparent. Got some stuff to do. Going to be hanging out with my girl for a little while. I don't know. Might be at a better time for everybody. because people have to work on Fridays. So, but whatever the case is, we will have a video later today. We're going to be streaming on Sunday. We have a video about Jelani tomorrow. So again, subscribe, have notifications on. If you know anybody that needs some Colts content, wants some Colts content, push this out to them, man. Don't be afraid to share this with them. I'd surely appreciate it. Any and all Colts of Colts Nation, man, get them in here. Again, this is what live streaming is supposed to be. This is what I wanted, was to be able to chat with you guys, getting a lot of different people in chat. This has been the most fun I've had live streaming so far. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Let's get some more Colts Nation in here. And yeah, I do play Madden. I don't know when I'll be able to get the new Madden. I know it comes out on Monday, I believe. I'm moving, and there's some money that has to go into that. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to get it, but I am going to get it, and we are going to do a Dynasty. We were doing a Dynasty while we were waiting for training camp. We did some Madden content with the Colts Dynasty. We're going to do the same thing in the new Madden. And I want to try to figure out some different stuff that we might be able to do. So, yeah, at some point we'll have Madden content on the channel. It's just not going to be right away. Time for me to start my workout. Love the con. Yes, sir. Hey, go get it, brother. I feel you. Yeah, I got to get a work in at some point today myself. Elite Madden Gamer, always top 100. Just fell the top 100 in the last 2 months. Tag is cold strength. Let me. I don't think. Actually, I got my phone right here. I'm on PC, so hopefully we're able to play together. I don't know if Madden's made it yet to where you can do that. Hopefully we'd be able to play together. But I'm going to take this down just in case. Colds, yeah, that was right. Okay, Colds strength. Okay, get that written down right there. Yeah, as you can see, big gamer. I have a PlayStation 4, but I also have the PC. So this is where I'm gaming nowadays. I don't play MUT anymore either. I used to play MUT a bunch. It's just too much pay to win. Giant waste of time. Just massive waste of time playing MUT. Next month you got a PS5 or Xbox. Oh, okay. I think he still might be a little bit behind there. He's going to catch up and see what I was saying. You can crossplay. That's great news. So I think it was probably just PS4 can't play with PS5, right? It had to be like new gen plays with new gen. Is probably what that is then. So hopefully PC can play with Xbox and PS5. College football didn't even come out on PC. What are we doing? Yeah, I usually pre-order Madden. Just couldn't this year, right? With everything going on. Wasn't able to. I wanted to, but had to play it safe. And kind of glad that I didn't. Need everything I can get right now. Because I'm moving. So, yeah, we'll have Colts content. Going to have plenty of content. This little, got a couple of sheets here with stuff that we're going to do. So, and we've done about half of that. We still have plenty to do. But there's still plenty of time with training camp. Training camp's technically almost done. It's just going to be regular practices from here on out. They're getting into their actual flow. But we're going to continue to do updates as much as we can do updates. Going to continue to live stream once the Colts get into their actual practice schedule. And I get a feel for what it is. We'll probably have try to set a time and day week by week when I'm going to be able to stream. I work in the restaurant industry, so my schedule's up and down every week, inconsistent. So it might change week to week, but we are going to do this weekly. I want to go live multiple times a week. We're going to be live every game. Okay, hold on. Every game except for the Steelers game. I will be in Indiana for a family reunion and to see family, and I'm going to the Steelers game with my dad. So that game I won't be live. All the other ones we should be live, including the preseason game. Well, scratch that. Preseason games, we'll see. The first preseason game will be live. That's the next live we're doing is on Sunday. For the preseason game, we'll do as much of the first half as I can. So I got this hat a couple years ago on the Colts official website. It was the 2022 Colts draft hat. And all the jerseys, let's see, the Brents, Richardson, Moss, actually, everything except for the Reggie Wayne jersey came from a guy I found on Twitter. Queeve Sports, I believe is how it's pronounced. And that's my jersey hookup. Reggie Wayne was a gift I got for my birthday this year. My name is Jeff. For anybody that wonders, my name is Jeff. People call me Jefe. It's been my nickname for a long time. Jefe means boss in Spanish. If anybody's wondering, I'm just like that. I don't call myself that. Okay, I did not give myself that nickname. That nickname was given to me. Okay, but you can just call me Jeff. My name is Jeff. My name is Jeff. That's what everybody I meet that I tell my name is Jeff to, that's what I get. My name is Jeff. Anybody that's seen 21 Jump Street, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Okay, cool. I'm getting Madden next month. You got on PS5 platform. I play PC again. When's the next live? What's your actual first name? Where do you live? If not, I live in Florida. I moved to Florida when I was 22 years old. Got the opportunity to move down here. Worked out for a little while. Cost of living kind of went crazy everywhere, especially down here in Florida, especially in the area that I am. It's being built up a lot. Things definitely got more difficult down here. But great weather pretty much all year round. So a little bit of trade-off there, you know what I mean? I was wondering if you were drug keeping when you said Jefe. Nah, I got that because of a costume. I was Hugh Hefner at a Halloween costume, as a Halloween costume when I was like 19 years old. People started calling me Hef, but then I worked with a bunch of those people, and I was in line to become a manager before I did some stupid stuff and got in trouble. So people started calling me Jefe, and I'm 6'5", so a bigger type of person. Yeah, people just call me Jefe. My connection on these jerseys, these pretty cheap compared to what you get them for on the NFL website or the Colts website. Pretty cheap. You know what? I'll put the Twitter link for this guy in the comments here before we get out of here. Let's see. Can I share profile? Yeah, here we go. Copy link to profile. Paste. Boom. All right, so this is the connection I have for jerseys. Okay, gets me jerseys. Some of them get here quick. Some of them it might take a couple weeks. Whatever. I don't know what his connection is. I don't care. I've gotten a few jerseys from him. That's all I know. He does giveaways sometimes. This Zach Moss jersey is autographed. That's one that I got for him for cheap. It was after Zach Moss had gone to the Bengals, or definitely. I don't think he had gone to the Bengals yet, but he wasn't coming back. And I got that jersey for pretty cheap. So plenty of those. That's the link for it. If you're on X or if you want to make an X and hit him up, he's a really good connection for that. Let's see what you guys are saying here. All right, well, it's how to push some ways. 2 weeks vacations. Hell yeah, Paul. Yeah, go get that work in, brother. Yeah, and have fun on your vacation, man. Be hoping to see you through the live streams and through the different videos. Don't be afraid to hop in the comment section, everybody. In video when we're not live streaming, just to let me know you're there. I might not see them right away, but at some point I always go through the comments on the channel and try to at least like them, just to let people know, hey, I see you here, right? So. Keep dropping by. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. It's, again, easily the best stream that we've done so far. Been having a lot of you hanging out here for a lot of time. So I appreciate you guys giving me your time. Appreciate you guys stopping by in the middle of the day on a Friday. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You guys take care of yourselves, and we will talk again very soon, all right? So, of course, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.